Hi there, it's Mark again, aka Procurobot. I am back, haven't gone mad slightly yet, although my computer software is slightly driving me crazy, if I must be honest. I do apologise that it's taken me so long to get a second video out. It has literally just been the case that the software on my computer hasn't been matching up with the tablet for whatever reason, so I've spent the last few days trying to really hammer it out. Haven't quite succeeded. I've got it to the point where it was in the first video where I could broadcast something on here and have it play on my computer. That's all I need. I did say I was going to come at this with the bells and whistles. Unfortunately, bells and whistles aren't quite there yet. You just have to take it as it is. That being said, thank you so much for all the positive feedback that I've had on my videos, so far. It has really, really helped. I've had a lot of people come say that there was a lot of good information in there, which is always nice. And some have suggested a few ideas for future videos going forwards, which is a really, really good idea. I do want audience participation, so please give me feedback. Your ideas help grow this channel. I know I said I'd be doing, in my spare time, Hayes plays, I don't know, games of some variety. I will still do that. It's not going to happen immediately, though, just because of the problems I'm having. It will get there eventually, but I'm probably going to have to buy a microphone and a webcam on my PC for that. And at the moment, funnily enough, I don't think I can do that. So you just have to stick with the informative videos for now. But yeah, one idea that a few people have suggested is CV tips for procurement candidates. I personally think that CVs for procurement people are different from what I class as ordinary CVs. I always think that there should be a different structure to them. I always think that they should have a little bit of different content from ordinary CVs. So I've collated my top tips on what I think should be put in a procurement CV. So sit back, again, relax, and I'll see you soon. So, as I said in the first clip, I believe that procurement CVs are different from ordinary CVs. I believe, generally speaking, an ordinary CV, as I would term it, you don't need that much beyond the day-to-day of the role to make it through an interview process, essentially. But I believe that there are certain things about a procurement CV that can stand out and help make you more attractive to employers. Generally speaking, employers will only give you, when it comes to your CV anyway, 30 seconds to a minute on average before they put you in whatever pile they decide to put you in, whether that's no, maybe, or yes. You only have that kind of time to really grab them. It's your time to shine. And I believe that a lot of procurement candidates aren't doing this in the right way. What I've noticed about procurement CVs, they tend not to show, oddly enough, the facts and figures. And I believe that is the number one top tip. Procurement CVs should show facts and figures of what you have saved your previous companies. I can only give previous examples. Obviously, I had that candidate who came in who saved 47% on one contract, which made, in the end, about £750,000. He hadn't put that down on his CV. And that, when I put that down on his profile for him, that garnered so much attention, just that one line. People were really, really interested in him just because of that. So I believe that if you put down on your CV your facts and figures, your savings, in terms of real money, people really understand what you're worth. Because at the end of the day, as I said before, procurement people are unsung heroes. You don't always get the recognition you deserve. But as soon as you start putting it in cold, hard facts and figures, people start to understand it. And that really, really goes a long way. Sorry, I need a drink. Been very thirsty today. So yeah, numbers count. Put your achievements on every role you've been through, because it will be so important in making you stand out. Don't just put the day-to-day of the role. By all means, put a few important bits, the software you're using, that sort of thing. Anything that makes you stand out. If you're leading a team, that sort of thing. But don't just copy and paste a job description, because you know employers get hundreds of those. If you put your key achievements, the important bits of that role, where you stood out. I mean, I get it. Procurement people, generally speaking, don't like to brag about themselves. That's why they're the unsung heroes. But if that CV is your chance to brag, essentially, and it's the point where you should be bragging, because you deserve, as I said before, more recognition than you get, and the CV is a perfect way to do it. It's the perfect way to get that recognition. So yeah, that's tip number one. So tip number two, basically be brief. Unless you're going for a head of procurement role or an procurement director role where the devil really is in the detail, try and keep it brief. Keep it to your key achievements. Keep it to 5 to 10 lines at most, to one or two sentences. It will really grab an employer more than having reams and reams and reams of information. Pick out the key details, look through your CV and say, yes, this is what I need, this is what I don't need. Try and cut it down as much as possible. It will save both you and the employer a lot of time, and it will grab them a lot more. So, last but not least, tip number three, and honestly, in a way, this is probably the most important. I personally think that, in spite of achievements and in spite of being brief, the one thing that can make you stand out overall and make sure that you're selling you is that you make your CV unique, grab that employer's attention. Um, in this, I can only use myself as an example. One CV that actually did get me a lot of attention actually had a cover letter that I wrote to the rap of the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. It was a hell of a gamble. It was a very, very big gamble, but it was creative, it was daring, it was bold, and so it made me stand out from the people around me. Uh, I don't necessarily recommend writing a rap for your cover letter, but by all means, do not be afraid to stand out and be who you are, because at the end of the day, the companies aren't aren't buying into a bit of paper, they're buying into you. So if you make it stand out, you will succeed. And if you want, please by all means send me your CV by email. Anyone who watches this video, I will go through it and I will doctor it. I'll happily look through, give you some pointers on it, just to see what you can do to make that CV stand out a bit more, because that's what I do for my candidates. Yeah, thank you for watching. That, in summary, is my top three tips on how to make your procurement CV stand out. That being numbers and achievements, being brief, and not being afraid to be yourself. As I said previously in the video, please send me your CV if you want to. I'm more than happy to take a look, see if I can doctor it to make it look a bit better and stand out from the crowd a bit more. Stay safe at this moment in time. Obviously, coronavirus still isn't going away. Obviously, this is now day 6 of lockdown for us, I think. And yeah, it is proving tough at times, but you know what? We're all in this together. If we will get through it together. That's all of us are pushing towards the same goal, and fingers crossed, by the end of April or June, we'll be out of the storm. So, as I said, stay safe, stay indoors for now. Um, Coming up in my next video, I think I'm going to do one for employers. So, yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.